G'day, welcome to This Is Riffin'. Today we're going to look at Whitewater by Kyuss. This is another one of my faves by Kyuss. Absolute monster of a song. As always, just please excuse the sound quality my end. My jag's out of action that I normally use for C standard type riffs, so I'm just using an old telly today, which has got 9 gauge strings on it, I think, so it can't handle the tuning that well, but hopefully it still comes across okay for you. I also just mentioned that this song has a lot of double guitar tracks going on, so I've done it as best as possible to sort of cover both of them, and I'll also just give you some ideas of what you can do just as a single track guitar too. The solo is definitely a bit of a tricky one as well because of that double layering. So again, I've just given you some ideas as best as I can, and allows you just to play along with the song as well. Like most Kyuss songs, you'll just need to tune your guitar to C standard, which goes like this: C, F, A sharp, D sharp, G, and C. I'll just refer to the strings probably as standard tuning, such as E, A, D, G, B, and E. And so hopefully that doesn't confuse you too much, but it's just a bit easier saying the string names. So the intro is just going to take place on fret 3 on the A string. And that's just a slide there, 3 to 5. You could probably get away with a hammer on as well. I'd say Josh does a slide most likely. So 3, 5 to 5 again. And then we drop down to 5 on the D, then an open on the A, followed by a 5, 7 on the D, most likely as a slide again. And I like to ring out the A string to let that sustain while you're doing that. And when you go to that 5, 3, 5, 5, you can just sort of roll your first finger down to that to get that in there. And then it's an open on the A, 7 to 3 on the D, slide that down, open on the A, back to the 3 on the D, open on the A, 3, 5 as a slide on the D. So that little last bit there, down to 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 5 as a slide. Always trying to sort of, again, sustain that A note. You get that sort of bouncing notes off each other. So you're going to do that twice in a row. My timing's a bit off, by the way. When you get to the third one, it's pretty similar, but you're going to introduce like a power chord sort of bit. So it's 3, 5, 5 again, down to 5 on the D, open on A, then 5, 7 on the D, and then it's this bit here. You're going to go open on the A, and then it's 7 on the D and 9 on the G, so like a power chord, and you're going to slide that down to 3. So you hold that shape. strum it once. One strum, open on the A, back to the 3 and 5, open on the A, 3, 5 as a slide. So that's the only difference there. Same feel to it while you're doing that. And then back to the start again. When you get to this last 5, Josh sort of chucks onto the overdrive, increases the volume as well, which I can't do to that full effect. So yeah, he's most likely he's down lower, playing it, and then starts to crank it up. And I think there's a little A here by itself before doing when it cranks into it. So that's 3, 3, 5, and 5. So yeah, that would just be open like that. This part here again revolves around that A string, 2 opens, and the 5/7 on the live clips and listening to it, it does sound like Josh does a hammer on there, definitely on the live ones. You can see his fingers doing that, but you could get away doing a slide as well. But I think a hammer on is the way to go. Open on the A, 5/7 on the D as a hammer on, so just strum that once. Then we've got 4 opens on the A, back to 5/7 on the D, open, 5/7 on the D, 3, 5 on the A. So that little move there is quite quick. 5/7 on the D, 3, 5 on the A. Then we go open on the A, 5/7 on the D, back to 4 opens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/7 on the D, 2 opens on the A, and then there's this sweet move, which is 3, 3, 5, and 5. It's like a power chord at fret 3, but you beef it up by chucking in 3 on top as well. And you just do that once, and then it goes to 3, 5. So 3 on the top string as a power chord. So you can just leave your first finger there, barred over the fret 3s, and then that 5 on the D and G just comes up a string to A and D. I generally like to use my pinky there. So yeah, that's that real boom, boom. And then it's back to the main riff again for round 2. Except when you get to this little bit here, it's a 5 on the G and then a 7 on the D, which I think would just be a hammer on. So you don't even have to strum fret 7. So I'll just go from the start of that again. So this is the second part of the riff. Open on the A, 5/7 on the D, again 4 opens on A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/7 on D, open on A, and here's this bit which is 5/7 as a hammer on, 5 on the G, back to the 7 on the D. So he sort of whips that in there. Finish that exactly the same as the other part. For round 3 of this riff, it's the same as the first one. And then it's this last one that has the double track going. Like that's going the whole time, but in this one, Josh does 2 different things just to confuse you. So I added in his other second part here, which goes like this. Same thing again, open, 5/7, 4 opens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/7 on the D, open. It's just this little bit where he goes 5/7 on the D, 5/7 on the G. So one guitar's doing that, while the other guitar's doing that little hammer about earlier. So that's the only real difference there. So hopefully that doesn't confuse the hell out of you. And then it just finishes it off exactly the same. With that tough. So yeah, you can get away either doing that extra bit I talked about or just stick with the normal one, with the hammer-ons. Josh plays a lot by feel, and especially when there's the two tracks going on at the same time. So as always, I'm never 100% accurate with this. It's more of just a guide for you. So what I did then as the example was, for the first two lots of that, it's sort of what Josh is doing on the album, like what I can hear. He just whips in these little extra bits before starting it all again. And then the last two were more of just an idea of what you can do just to play with the song, and you can't go wrong doing that either way. And it still sounds really good with the song. So I'll walk you through what I'm sort of doing here. Open on the A with a 5 and 7 on the D. I think slides work better than hammer-ons. It just flows a bit easier because you're working your way up the D string pretty much. And then you're going to do 6 7s and a 7 to 9 as a slide. 2 more 9s, and then a 9 to 10. So just one strum for that. Then 3 10s. And then it's just here that I hear Josh actually do like a 10 9, 5 7. He just whips it in there. Followed by 6 A's. Before doing a 5 7. Open. And this first one's just a power chord at fret 3. You could do the beefy version as well. Sorry, my guitar's gone a bit out of tune, I think. So yeah, it's that was the first one. The second one's pretty much the same, except it finishes with a 3 5 3 as a power chord on the A string. You could also, Josh possibly does 5 and 5 on the D and the G to 7. That stands out a bit more. So that's another way you could finish it. Like that, still sounds cool. The power chord gives it a bit more of the balls to it as well. So yeah, you can choose either way there. And he's always sort of whipping in the A string by itself as well. So you can do sort of like the 5 to 7s and the 7 to 9s. And you don't always have to strum them all at the same time. You can occasionally hit the A's as well, but it's more towards the end when it's just the A by itself. So when you get to that 10 and work your way back down, right here, I think it's pretty clear there's just A's there by themselves, I think. And then there's the alternate way you can play it, which you can't go wrong with either. So that sort of will be like, yeah, opens 5 to 7s, 7 to 9, 10, and you just don't have to include the 10, 9, 5, 7. You can just scrap that off. Just start with an A. And then, yeah, just do that again. those opens are pretty important at the end then. It just keeps that groove sort of chugging along nicely. Then get to the chorus, which again is just a rough idea for you. What I've given you there is roughly what one of them is doing. And again, you could use any of these throughout the whole section and pretty much go sweet. I may not have even played that bit there exactly to the way I tabbed it out, just because I purely believe it's a lot more to do with the feel there, as I keep banging on about, and not to mention those two tracks going on side by side. So it starts off again at that power chord at fret 3 on the A with the beefed up 3 on top. And then you're going to move that up to fret 5 on the A string to do a power chord on the top string at fret 3. So it's 3, 3, 5, and 5 for 2 strums. Bring it up to do the power chord on the top string on fret 3 for 2 strums as well. I'm probably whipping in a few of those dead note type strums in there as well, which you can do as well. And then it's a 3-5 on top string as a hammer on, then it's a 3 on the A. Then he finishes it off with a 5-3 really quickly. So from there, you're going to be mucking around with the D and the G string around fret 5 and fret 7. So the first one does like something similar to this. 5 to 7 as a hammer on, and 2 7s back to 5. Then the 7 sort of bends. 2 7s, 5, 7. Then he quickly does like a 5-7-5 hammer on pull off. So yeah, when you put that together, I don't even know if I did every note then again, because it always is just by the feel, but that's roughly what he's doing. And then from there, you've got to get back to that power chord to start it up again. So the 3, 3, up to 3. This time though, it's a 5-3 on the A as a pull off. And then a 5-5 on top. You could probably just do 1-5 on top if you wish as well. Then Josh just whips it in there, I think. And then this second little part here, again, it's on the 5-5 on the A and the G. I think he does 2 5s, then a hammer on to 7, 3 7s, 5, then it's to 7 and 7 on the A and the D this time. Back to 5 and 5, 7 and 7, 5 and 5, and then the 7 and 7 on the A and the D. So that little section there is roughly something like that. It helps me when I play this bit first. I might even do an extra 7 there. You could do that as well. So yeah, sorry if the tab's a bit out there. So yeah, just dancing around those 5s and 7s is what you can do to get away with that. With hammer-ons, pull-offs, or whatever you wish. And then the last one is the same thing again, 3, 3, up to 3. Then a 3, 5, hammer-on, down to 3 on the A string. And then we go back to the 5 and 5, A and the G, the D and the G. Hammer on to 7, 2 7s, 5, 5, up to 7 and 7 on the A and the D, back to the one's a bit like that sort of feel. Yeah, hope that makes sense. And then the next one to finish it off is that 3-3 again, followed by a 5-3 on the A and 5 on top, and then power chord at fret 5 on the top string. And that's a quick movement there. Let that ring out, and then to finish that off, back to old mate, 3 and 3. Then it all just kicks off again. So I'll just run through each section a bit slowly for you here. That quick. So the song will repeat the verse and the chorus again, pretty much doing what I showed you before. The chorus in particular, just again, sort of played by the feel there with those 5s and 7s. But it's roughly the same as the first chorus as well. Before it kicks into the solo section of the song, there's just a little power chord bit at 3 on the top string to 5. And this is at the tail end of that second chorus. So you're going to hold that 5 and then go back to 3 to finish on a 5 again. And let that ring out, and then that other guitar part will start playing over the top of it. Get to the little breakdown bit that leads into the epic solo to come, and this one is 5 to 7 on the D, and I like to use my third finger here because then you're going to go to 5 on the G, and you can sort of let them bounce off each other. Back to the 7-7 on the D, and in this bit I think it's a 5 on the D, open and open on the G and the B. But I can hear a B in there, and then it's an open G, 5 on the D, and an open on the D. And I'll probably do a little pull off there even. So it does that a few times, and then it's going to go into pretty much the same, but it's whipping in a little extra bit. 5 to 7-7 on the D, 5 on the G, and then it's 7-5 on the G, back to 5 on the D, 5 on the D and open on the G, 5 on the D, followed by 5 open and open, open on the G, 5 open on the D. So for this bit, it gets a bit confusing sometimes just saying all those strings and all those frets, so I'll just sort of play it. So 5 to 7, use your pinky there for that extra bit. And I go to my second finger there. Whichever finger you please there. So yeah, it's a nice For the solo bit of the song, it's so tricky to get this 100% accurate, of course. A, because it is Josh, the master, and B, because of the 2 guitar tracks going on. It's hard to decipher exactly what's going on. So please just use this as a guide. I'm not going to dive into every single bit, as I just would bang on forever and this would go for way too long than it has to be. So yeah, I'll just play through. I've got the time signatures, or not the time signatures, sorry, but the times up the top, so you know which bit I'm playing. And speaking of time signatures, they're not accurate either in the tab. They're just there to help me sort of break up the frets for you to make it a little bit clearer. So yeah, please don't think I'm putting in time signatures there with all those crazy symbols going on. I recorded a lot of these solo sections just in individual sections, so I apologize if the feel's not exactly like it is on the album either. But as long as you use that tab, you should be okay. This is going to be 410, the second guitar track. This is the second guitar track over 433. At the 5:18 mark, there is a second guitar track doing something similar to this. Sort of bends. Josh is just doing his classic sort of bends there. And it's going to 12. And then it's going back and forth. And you wouldn't really know it's there even unless you listen closely. And so that's over the top of the build-up. And this bit here, because those 2 tracks are bouncing off each other, I haven't done the timing correctly there either. So again, that's just a bit of a rough guide to just play by the feel there. So this bit here, it helps to use your pinky for fret 10, I find anyway, which allows you to do the 8-7 as a pull off a lot easier with your second and first finger. And then when you get up to this high E on the 10, it sort of rotates between that 10 and the 10 on the B. So it's 10, 8, 7, then 10 on the B. So you're going back and forth. And then always those vibratos. At the 4:33 mark, there is one track doing something like this. Sort of little dancing type thing. It's dance around those notes there, while the other main track's sort of doing something similar to that. And so you can sort of put them together as well, if you wish. But yeah, so I thought I'd whip that in there just to give you a bit of an idea of what is actually going on. Bit out of tune there. So yeah, that ending riff to take out the song is just going to be 5-7 as a slide on the D, and I like to use my third finger there because you're going to hold the 5 on the G, then 2 7s on the D, slide that to 9 and 7 on the D and the G, and then when you start it again, it's going to be open as well on the A. So you get those octaves together, and then you slide that to 7-7. Same thing with the 7-5, 7-7, 7 to 9. And it doesn't really matter if you hit a few A's extras or whatever here, but when you slide to the 7 and 9, try and hit them together. And then finally, you're going to do it open on the A, 7 on the D, 9 on the G, and then a 10 on the B. And let that ring out. I hope that helps you out with the song. I had a lot of fun working out all the parts. It's a beast of a song. And if you've got any questions, just leave a comment below. And I'll catch you soon. Bye.